Columbia Tech. Just for the record, Mr. Rossi and Mr. O'Connor are not in attendance. Y'all please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First item on the agenda is public comment. Anyone here for public comment? Anyone here for public comment? Going once, going twice. Next item on the agenda, approval of minutes, April 10th, 2024, minutes of the annual organization meeting. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, move the minutes of April 10th, reorg meeting.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Irvin, seconded by Mr. Murphy. Any discussion? Seeing none, can you please call the roll?
Mr. Early?
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger?
Yes.
Ms. Delay?
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Mr. Irvin?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Ms. Lowell?
Yes.
Ms. True? Yes. Ms. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Slavoski?
Yes.
Passes. Next, April 10th, 2024, minutes of the public hearing on the FY25 budget. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion made, seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Early?
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger?
Yes.
Ms. Delay?
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Mr. Irving?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Ms. Lowell?
Yes.
Ms. True?
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Slavoski?
Yes.
Passes. Next item on the agenda is April 10th, 2024, minutes of the regular school committee meeting. Is there a
Move the
motion?
approval.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Irvin, seconded by Mr. Fitzgerald. Any discussion? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Early?
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger?
Yes.
Ms. Delay?
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Mr. Irving?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Ms. Lowell?
Yes.
Ms. True?
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Slavoski?
Yes.
Passes. Next item, treasurer's report for April. Motion made by Ms. True,
Second.
seconded by just about everybody. We'll go with Mr. Slavoski. Any discussion? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Early?
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger?
Yes.
Ms. Delay?
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Mr. Irving?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Ms. Lowell?
Yes.
Ms. True?
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Slavoski?
Yes.
Passes. Old business, nothing on the agenda. Next, reports and communications, student representative report, Dewanski Gustave.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Superintendent Lynch, and all other members of the school committee. For sports, the softball team is currently in first place with a record of 8-2. The team has great chemistry and is always supportive of one another. They are getting stronger every day and look forward to competing in the state tournament early in June this year. The boys track and field team has grown substantially this year with a very large group of freshmen joining. Some new varsity athletes have emerged and enabled them to put together new relay teams that have broken 2 school records. Several athletes are anticipated to qualify for participation in state meets at the end of the month. The team has a record of 1-2 in dual meets. Recently, the boys set the sprint medley record, 4x2 relay, and Open 800 school record. The girls track and field team just came off an impressive win at the home against Northeast. A lot of new athletes stepped up into impactful roles this year. Recently, the girls set the sprint medley record, shot put, and relay school records. The boys volleyball is doing extremely well for a second-year program, with a record of 3-4. Many of the players are playing for the first time, but they work hard and play hard. The boys lacrosse team is currently 5-3. The team is getting better every day, looking to hopefully compete in state vocational tournament and the state tournament. The girls lacrosse program has grown dramatically this year and have a promising group of freshmen. The team consists mostly of new players, so this has been a rebuilding year, and they look forward to developing the culture of the program and truly believe they will find success in future seasons. For skills, 81 students and 16 advisors attended the Skills USA States Conference this year. Whittier students received the following medals. 5 students received gold medals, 11 students received silver medals, and 1 student received the bronze medal. The GSA Club is winding down for the year and is planning their annual Pride Party for the first week of June. The Multicultural Club has 3 meetings left for the year. On May 9th, a member will be giving a presentation about Greek Easter and how their family celebrates it. For the next year, the club wants to promote inclusivity and celebrate their rich heritage and cultural diversity. The Chess Club has enjoyed a busy year with new memberships and several tournaments. They will host the final tournaments within the upcoming weeks. The club is still considering membership with other schools in order to compete, depending on the interest and level of play. Student government is working hard to prepare something great for Teacher Appreciation Week and are hoping to offer coffee, cake, and personalized thank you notes for each teacher in the building during the week of May 6th to May 10th. The Ski and Snowboard Club held 3 trips this winter with high levels of participation, filling their buses on each trip. Enrollment in the club have increased over the previous year, and the season began with a successful fundraiser that helped reduce the trip of the cost for students this year. Environmental Club is currently working, and the kids are maintaining 4 tower gardens in room 3110, 2 in the poet tent, and 1 in Miss Cook's room that she uses to teach nutrition in her kinesiology class. They will also be organizing a trash cleanup day on May 23rd for the grounds surrounding the school. The Drama Club is currently working on hiatus while Miss Anderson and Miss Bucher handle the auditions for the Senior Talent Show on May 24th. I'll be singing. I hope you guys can watch. Yes. The Drama Club is currently on hiatus. I already set down my phone. The yearbook is on press. They expect a very high quality job, and it will be delivered in 2 weeks on time and on budget. Poetry, a fun National Poetry Month, sharing poems with each other and the school community via the electronic display screens at the school committee, drove onto the campus the month of April. Thank you. That'll be all.
Thank you.
Nice job.
Ms. Lynch, Madam Superintendent.
We'd like to give you a little gift because this would be your last meeting with us. I want to say thank you. I think the whole ski, I should give you a hug. Would like to thank you, but I think you have some personal news that you just shared with me. You want to share with everybody?
So for this year in track, it was my first year running the 400 meter, and they put together a sprint medley team, and we broke the school record for the sprint medley by 7 seconds.
So he's like, I'd like to go to nationals, Miss Lynch, so. But no, really, he's done a wonderful job. Thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure to sit next to you for the last school year, and I just really want to say thank you and to wish you the best of luck. And don't forget, you're always a Whittier Wildcat. All right? All right.
What school are you gonna go to?
I will be next door to NECO.
Wonderful.
Nice.
Good job.
Thank you. Congratulations. Mr. Legane?
Thank you. I enjoyed sitting next to you for the past year. I think you have a bright future. Thank you for doing this. I think it's a good experience for you. It's a good experience for us to hear directly from a student exactly what's going on. No disrespect to the superintendent, but your report, in my view, is one of the most important, is the kid's perspective, exactly what's going on, so that we know. And I want to thank you. You've done it very well, and I know you'll do well in your when you leave here. So congratulations and thank you. Next item on the agenda is going to be the introduction of the new student representative, Kaylee Habib, to the school committee. Mr. Leganis.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Superintendent Litz, and rest of the school committee members. First of all, I just want to say, Dwinski, you can give me a hug tomorrow or whenever we see you. I want to thank you, and I echo the superintendent as well as the chairman. Just a great kid, and you're going to make us proud. Don't forget the little people when you are famous. Anyway, I'm pleased to introduce our next school committee rep, student rep, Kaylee Habib, is a junior from Haverhill, who's is in the electrical program. Kaylee has excelled in her studies, and she's been inducted into the National Technical and Vocational Honor Society. She's a peer leader and an athlete, participating in volleyball, basketball, and softball. She is a standout pitcher for our Wildcats, 100-plus strikeouts, correct? And counting. She wants to go to college for electrical engineering. I introduce Kaylee Habib.
From Haverhill.
Welcome, we look forward to having you. Next item on the agenda is Skills USA Medal winners, Jane Moskovitz.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Superintendent Lynch, and school committee members. On April 25th through the 27th, we traveled with, as you heard from Dwinsky, we traveled to Marlborough with about 81 students. We had a successful conference. We came back with the gold medalists, but we also came back with a team gold medal and American Spirit Award. Career Pathway Showcase Business, silver. Career Pathway Showcase DVC, silver. We got a baking and pastry arts, silver. Russell Poor. Health Occupations Professional Portfolio, Maddie Katzen from Georgetown. I'm sorry, I didn't announce where they're from. The American Spirit Award, the 3 students are all from Haverhill. Business, we have an Amesbury student, a Newburyport student, and a Haverhill student. 3 Haverhill students from DVC. Russell Poor is a Haverhill student. Maddie Katzen is from Georgetown. And Annie Siliker won a bronze medal in Principles of Engineering Technology, and she is a student from Newburyport. Tonight I have with me our gold medal winners. We're really excited. I'm going to have them come up and introduce themselves. We hope to be traveling to the National Skills USA Conference and Competition on June 24th to the 29th in Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm going to welcome Natalie Delano first.
Hi everyone, my name's Natalie Delano. I'm a junior in health assisting here at Whittier Tech, and I'm from Haverhill. I actually did not compete at the state leadership conference. I'm actually serving right now as a state officer, and I ran again and got elected to be a state officer again next year for my senior year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'd like to thank you all for your support with Skills. Without all of your support, I wouldn't have been able to run. I wouldn't have been able to go to nationals last year and go on my trips this year for Skills USA. It's really been a life-changing experience. I've been able to grow not only as an individual, but also as a person and someone looking to go into the health field. So thank you very much.
Good evening, everybody. I'd like to say thank you for all coming today. I'm David Beltry from the Carpentry program. I'm in 12th grade. I am the carpenter and team leader of the Teamworks competition. Last year we did get silver. Second place, we worked our butts off. And we really strive to go to nationals. I'd like to thank everyone for their support, and hopefully you guys see us at nationals.
Where are you from?
April.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Just making sure.
Hello everyone, my name is Silas Smith. I'm a senior in the masonry program from Whittier. I'm also from Haverhill. This is my first year on the Team Build team. I wasn't with them last year, but I kind of helped their mason last year prepare for the competition. And he wasn't able to do it this year, so I thought that I might as well do it, and it paid off. So, thank you.
My name's Kenny Jimenez. I'm a senior in the electrical program here at Whittier Tech, and I'm from Haverhill. Thank you.
My name is Betsy Vasquez. I'm a senior in the plumbing program, and I'm from Haverhill. I just want to thank you all for coming tonight.
Thank you.
We also have another student who medaled gold at states. His name is Nathaniel Shramko. He's a senior in the electronics program here, and he's from Groveland. I'm sure that he'd like to express his thanks to.
What position did you hold on the state board this year?
This year, I was the state historian. I don't know what position I get next year until I go to state officer training. It's kind of, we all spend a week together, do our training, and then at the end of the week, we dual vote each other in.
Right.
So it's not what the members think, it's what we think, and we grow really close, so.
Yeah.
Madam Superintendent.
Go ahead.
Congratulations, I heard you on the radio this morning, WHAV. They talked about it 3 or 4 different times today, so everybody pretty much knows about it, which is great, and congratulations.
Thank
you guys so much. Without your support, we wouldn't be able to do it.
And we have the correct paperwork to go forward, right?
I'm getting to that,
Thank
don't you
you.
worry.
Madam Superintendent.
So I just want to say, I went to the state finals, and that Saturday morning, I have a picture with the Team Build group. They had a feeling right from the beginning that they might win this award. So Team Build is a 2-day competition where they are building basically a shed with masonry, electrical, plumbing, as well as build the carpentry piece of it. As Ms. Moskovich and I say, this is the one to win, right? Because this is really showing the 4 different trade areas and the kids working together. It was truly amazing. It was one of the last awards awarded that day, and I think they almost broke the gold medal box because they were jumping up and down so much. And I wish I had, we have pictures of it, but in person and video, it would have been way better. And I just want to say, Natalie, I've seen such growth in you since I signed for you to become an officer. You're so poised. You're doing an amazing job. She did cry the whole time during the event. Happy tears, but, just sad to see this year end. And I think she was even more thrilled to be able to do it again next year. So I'm excited because I, too, am traveling to Atlanta with you guys, so we're going to get to know each other really well. And then Nathaniel, he won gold last year in electronics robotics. I think I've told you the story. Last year, he had all his toolbox, brought it all the way to Atlanta, and it never showed up. He needed to have that toolbox in order to compete. I went a couple days later, brought the toolbox, but put an Apple AirTag in it just so I could track it so it wouldn't get lost. And sure enough, when I landed in Atlanta, it was still in Boston. So I told them I have a tracker. I see right where it is. And we were able to get it in time for his competition. And he was a national gold winner last year. So we're hoping for a repeat this year from him. No pressure. But this is truly an achievement. And the kids were, it was just a phenomenal morning 2 Saturdays ago. So just congratulations. And thank you, Ms. Moskovich, and all the teachers that spent the time, gave up their free time, their weekend, to support our students, to stay overnight. It's a huge responsibility, and they do that out of the kindness of their heart. So just truly thank you to everyone that helped our students get to the point where they are today. So thank you.
Next item on the agenda, Superintendent's Report. Madam Superintendent.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Tonight before you, I have hires of an evening school fall brochure, freshman orientation for a school nurse, Math Acceleration Academy instructors for April vacation, the April vacation boot camp instructors, our early college boot camp preparation program, our supporting student social, emotional learning, behavior, and mental health and wellness program facilitator and team members, our math grade 10 spring MCAS after school program, and then our Career Technical Institute summer programs that we will be having this summer for adults. As of today, Merrimack, Georgetown, Newberry, Rowley, Groveland, and West Newberry have approved our budget. I just want to say thank you to the support of all of those communities and backing our budget. Upcoming town meetings for Ipswich is May 14th and Salisbury is May 20th. Upcoming meetings with our cities are Haverhill and Amesbury on May 29th and Newburyport on June 5th. MCAS update on May 21st and 22nd, 317 sophomores will take the Math MCAS exam. We're offering a free after-school program to sophomores for supporting tutoring and upcoming for the math exam. The program will begin on May 2nd and will run until May 21st. That's Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. On April 22nd, I met with President Lane Glenn from Northern Essex Community College regarding a possible RFP and planning for a possible shared campus. On Wednesday, April 24th, I attended the MSBA remote meeting. At the meeting, MSBA withdrew our statement of interest. On behalf of the district, I wanted to have the opportunity to thank them for their support and their work during the 2-year feasibility study. On Wednesday, April 24th, I attended the Mayor's Hope Task Force meeting. At this meeting, there was a presentation of Drug Story Theater. There continued to be much work developing wraparound services from members of our Haverhill community. On Thursday, April 25th, I attended the Whittier NFI meeting. NFI provides free drug and alcohol counseling in our community, and we are looking for ways we can partner with each other and provide services for our students. On Thursday, April 25th, I attended the Workforce Competitiveness Trust Fund Advisory Committee through the Commonwealth Corp. This is the organization that supports our career technical institutes. And I just really want to thank them. There's been a real increase in funding, but we're also seeing, just like everywhere else, that funding will start to decrease over the next few years, but we know that these are really valuable programs and we hope to continue them. On April 26th, I attended the Merrimack Valley Chamber meeting. I spoke along with John Lavoie about career technical education in our region. John Lavoie is from Greater Lawrence Tech. On Friday, April 26th, I attended the North Shore Superintendent Roundtable meeting. We'll be meeting with members of our legislative delegation next week to discuss school funding and also what's happening in our communities so they can hear from the practitioners in our communities. On Monday, April 29th, I attended the Groveland meeting. Also that night was Merrimack and West Newbury. I can't be in 3 places at once, so Ms. Cosmas attended the West Newbury Town meeting. I'm happy to report that, again, that all 3 towns supported our budget that night. I attended the Newbury, on April 30th, I attended the Newbury Town meeting along with Kara Cosmas and Joanna True. I want to thank the town of Newbury for supporting our budget for the next school year. On Monday, May 6th, I attended the MASC Day on the Hill. I would strongly encourage all members of our committee to attend this important meeting next year. MASC provided information on what advocacy they are doing with the legislature and how many members of our school and how our school committee members can help. After the meeting, we went to the State House where lunch was provided by who else but the vocational schools in the state. I want to thank our culinary team for some amazing desserts and all of their hard work for this luncheon. On Monday, May 6th, I attended the Georgetown Town meeting. I want to thank Kara Cosmas and Dave Irving for attending the Rowley Town meeting at the same time. So we have a very busy month ahead of us. On May 14th, we have an advisory board in the Ipswich Town meeting. May 20th, we have the Salisbury Town meeting. May 22nd, we have our underclassmen awards night. May 23rd, we have mock crash. May 28th, we have senior prom. May 29th, we have not only the Haverhill City Council meeting, but the Amesbury City Council meeting. And then on May 30th, we have graduation. And then our last city on June 4th will be the Newburyport City Council meeting. One other thing I really want to mention is this is Teacher Appreciation Week. And I think today is actually Nurse Appreciation Day. Our teachers do amazing work here at Whittier Tech. They are so supportive of our kids. They do amazing things. And they not only provide incredible instruction in the classroom, but they make this a really safe place for kids to grow and become a even better community. So, yeah. So I just really wanted to have the opportunity to say thank you for them and for all of their hard work. I have also before you tonight a field trip. My name's not on here, but I will make sure I have the right paperwork, Mr. Early, for students to go to the Georgia World Conference Center in Atlanta, Georgia for the National Leadership and Skills Conference.
To approve.
Second.
A motion made by Mr. Irvin, seconded by Ms. Coppinger. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Mr. Early?
Yes, with the proper paperwork.
Ms. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger?
Yes.
Ms. Delai?
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Mr. Irving?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Ms. Lowell?
Yes.
Ms. True?
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Slavoski?
Yes.
Passes.
So the other thing, and this is a vote we do annually, is on school choice. As many of you know, in the past, I would say now it's actually more than 10 years ago, we had about 200 choice seats. We no longer have that. We have more students in our district that want to come here than we would need to have choice students. So at this point, we do not have any seats, but I would like to keep it open for students that are already attending Whittier Tech. If they move out of the district, that they can stay in the district as a school choice student.
How does transportation work?
School choice students do not receive transportation.
Just on the one second. On the field trip request, it's not listed on the agenda, so I want to make sure that we're following all the proper protocols here. So in the future, I would ask if this field trip request by anyone that they're given to us in proper time to be posted on the agenda. Secondly, I want to do that motion again. I would ask for a suspension of the rules to do that, because it's not listed on the agenda. So a motion for a suspension of the rules by Mr. Irvin, seconded by Mr. Fitzgerald. This will only be a roll call on the suspension, and then we'll do the approval of the field trip request once we suspend the rules. Please call the roll. Yep, so this is just to suspend the rules, so.
Mr. Early?
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger?
Yes.
Ms. Delay?
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Mr. Irving?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Ms. Lowell?
Yes.
Ms. True?
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Slabowski?
Yes.
Okay, rules are suspended. Now, can we have a motion to pass the field trip
Motion
request?
to approve the Skills USA field trip.
Second?
Motion made by Mr. Irvin, seconded by Ms. Coppinger. Any discussion on that? Seeing none, please call the roll again on the field trip request.
Mr. Early?
Yes, with the right paperwork.
Ms. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger?
Yes.
Ms. Delay?
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Mr. Irving?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Ms. Lowell?
Yes.
Ms. True?
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Slabowski?
Yes.
Passes. We revert back to the agenda.
Great.
Mr. Early, did you have
Are
something?
you all done? I had a couple questions for you.
Mhm.
How were the towns, when you went in there to, get this budget approved? They all voted against us, every town except for Haverhill. Was there any friction or any problems, any questions about, why they voted or?
Nope, there hasn't been any pushback. I think we put together a very strong budget that the communities felt like they could support, so,
That's nice to hear, thank you.
thank you.
All right, any other discussions before we get to the school choice plan? Not the, Madam Superintendent, you have this item, the participation plan for a vote?
Yes. So again, we don't have any available seats. I would request that students that are already attending Whittier Tech to be able to stay at Whittier Tech as a school choice student moving forward.
Do we have to make a special motion for that?
Yes.
All right.
Does somebody
So we're
want to
approving
make?
the plan, correct? You have a plan?
Approving that we are not accepting school choice students other than those students that are already attending Whittier Tech.
Move that motion.
Motion made by Mr. Irvin, seconded by Mr. Fitzgerald. Any discussion on the school choice? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Early?
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger?
Yes.
Ms. Delay?
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Mr. Irving?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Ms. Lowell?
Yes.
Ms. True?
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Slabowski?
Yes.
Passes. Anything else, Madam Superintendent?
That is it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is going to be the Principal Assistant Superintendent, Mr. Leganis.
You still here?
Yeah, I didn't leave. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Madam, can I call you that? Madam Superintendent Lynch, and the rest of the school committee members. I know in your packet, we have the handbook proposal for 2024, 2025. All the sort of changes or add-ons are in there and highlighted. So if there are any questions, I'm here to answer the questions. If not, I'm looking for a vote.
Any questions? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve the student handbook for 24-25?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Fitzgerald, seconded by
Second?
Ms. Delay. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Early?
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger?
Yes.
Ms. Delay?
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Mr. Irving?
Aye.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Ms. Lowell?
Yes.
Ms. True?
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Slabowski?
Yes.
Passes.
Thank you very much.
Easy enough.
Appreciate it. Have a great night.
Thank you. Next up, Business Manager, Ms. Cosmas.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Madam Superintendent, members of the committee. First of all, I wanted to say, Duensky, congratulations on your upcoming graduation, and I wish you well in all that you do in the future. Got a couple of things on the agenda for you tonight. The first is an E&D transfer. We typically do this at the end of the year. And so this year, We are requesting the school committee to vote to increase the FY24 budget by $1,164,297. And it will be done this way. $900,000 of the increase will come from the excess and deficiency account, and $264,297 of it will come from the regional transportation account. The $900,000 from excess and deficiency will be transferred into the district stabilization account and will allow the district to continue to set aside funds that can be utilized for capital projects and/or to address the concerns of this aging facility. After this transfer, we will still have $257,924 remaining in E&D funds, but I do anticipate that this account will be replenished by funds that will remain in the operating budget at the close of the fiscal year. The $264,297 from regional transportation, that represents the remainder of last year's transportation, FY23 transportation revenues. We always keep the revenues from the prior year. We carry them over to offset the next year's transportation budget. And so those were carried over, the whole amount was carried over from FY23. We used $900,000 as we had budgeted as expected for this year's budget. And now we must use the rest of it this year. The transfer will increase the transportation appropriation in the general fund and will be used to purchase replacement vans, buses, and/or other transportation needs. The regional transportation funds that we receive this current year will then be carried forward and be used next year. And we have, I think, budgeted $1.2 million or something like that, because we are getting significantly more monies next year because of the fact that they're always like a year behind, and we had the first real full year last year that we reported with all the sports and everything. So we will be getting more money. So in order to accomplish this, the regulations require that the school committee actually increase the FY24 general fund operating budget to $30,900,657. There will be no resulting changes to the member municipality assessments. So I ask for a vote in favor of that.
Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Ms. Drew, seconded
Second.
by Ms. DeLay. Any discussion? Mr. Early.
There's no more chiller fund. Many years
No.
we had that. I don't know how to say this, but how can we give a little money back to the towns and cities? Is there any left, you think?
By doing this, we are able to keep the assessments lower every year. We don't, like this year, we have a 2.59% budget increase, which is significantly lower than every other of our member communities. So that's how we do it.
I'm just asking, thank you.
Okay.
Ms. Lowe?
What do you anticipate for the E&D for the end of the year in general?
I don't really know. The reason being, I'm working on finalizing the grants now, and as you know, we always make sure that we utilize our grant monies. So there are still some monies that need to be utilized. We usually see $600,000 or $700,000 sometimes at the end of these years. I don't want to say that that's going to happen in the future
Right.
years, but because of the excess of the grant money and the ESSER grants and all that, we were able to move a lot of things that we normally would plan for in the district budget over to that. But what we do is we also buy things in advance as well. We have a whole list of things that people can buy early, like their supplies. So we try to keep the number as low as possible so that we're using the funds. And of course, the more that we can pre-buy, that means the lower that the budget has to be as we continue to do that. So that's kind of been how we've done it. We buy things early. We hopefully plan on that, and that means that the budgets do not go up significantly in the supply accounts from year to year.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, can you please call the roll?
Mr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan,
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger,
Yes.
Ms. Delay,
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Mr. Irving, Mr. Murphy,
Yes.
Ms. Lowell,
Yes.
Ms. True,
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor,
Yes.
Mr. Slavoski.
Yes.
Passes.
Thank you so very much. The other thing before you, it's May, so you get the annual audit report. You have in your packet the actual audits themselves, as well as the cover letter from the auditor. I'm very pleased to report that, again, the opinion on the financial statements is unmodified, which is a clean opinion and the best you can have. The The letter also states that all reporting deadlines were met, the information that they received was accurate, there were no material weaknesses found, and that our accounting ledgers are maintained in compliance with the Commonwealth's budgetary rules and regulations. So I'm very pleased to report another unqualified audit, and I would be very remiss if I did not thank the members of the business office staff, because part of why we are able to have good audit reports are because they do their work timely and they do it accurately, and I could not do my job without them, so I do appreciate their efforts. So I don't know if anyone has any questions on it, but this is, we bring this to you annually, and we like to make sure that you see how we operate.
Before discussion, is there a motion to approve the audit report? And then we'll discuss it. Anyone?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Ms. Lowell, seconded by
Second.
Mr. Murphy. Discussion, Mr. Early.
What are we gonna do with the buses?
Well, that was actually before, but what I'm hoping to do is buy a couple of vans and a couple of buses.
You gonna buy them or lease?
We will be buying these. We buy the vans
Yeah, but
and we
the
replace
buses-
them. The buses, we will purchase these.
Really?
And then we have a lease planned for next year for 6 more. We try to keep 10 that we own and lease the rest.
Mr. Early and Ms. Cosmas?
Yeah.
We have, the motion on the table is the audit report.
I'm
The buses
sorry.
in the audit report.
Sorry about that.
So we want to stick to the
Sure.
agenda.
Thank you.
Any discussion on the audit report? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Early?
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger?
Yes.
Ms. Delai?
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Mr. Irving?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Ms. Lowell?
Yes.
Ms. True? Ms. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Slavoski?
Yes.
Passes.
Thank you for that.
Mr. Early, do you want to suspend the rules to talk
Yes,
about the
please.
buses?
Yes.
Is there a motion to suspend the rules for the discussion of purchasing or leasing of buses?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Fitzgerald, seconded by Mr. Irvin. First motion is merely on the suspension of the rules.
Mr. Early?
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger?
Yes.
Ms. Delai?
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Mr. Irving?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Ms. Lowell?
Yes.
Ms. True?
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Slavoski?
Yes.
Rules are suspended. Mr. Early?
Yeah, I thought you were gonna have this in the report tonight, but it's costing so much to, for these buses.
But the buses used to be about 84,000 with the trade-ins, and then last year when we were, if you remember, we bought out the lease because they were well over 100,000, and they were taking like 9 to 10 months to get, if you
So
could even
what's
get
the
them.
availability of these?
I believe that there is, but one of the reasons why I don't have a number down is they're on the state bid list, and we will see if they have availability for our specifications. And that's how we will be able to determine how many vans and how many buses we can replace.
Because they're up near $150,000 for a
I'm not
bus.
sure that they're as much as that, but
They're up there.
they are up there. And then next year, we do have in the budget a plan to lease another 6 buses. And again, leasing 18, keeping 10. And I'm glad we didn't lease them all and we don't lease them all at the same time, because last year when we tried to release the 17, we couldn't get them, and we would have really kind of been in a mess if we keep it with a large number. So we're breaking it up more so we won't get
With
caught
all
in
the,
that.
with all this new emission things on the buses, have you had any problems?
No,
No?
no.
Beautiful.
And in fact, we're looking at vans that are hybrids so that we can use our electric charging stations down there.
Any further discussion on the buses from anyone else?
And so just before I get off the podium, I always like to update you with the Whittier Tech Educational Foundation. This Friday night is our trivia night. We do have a couple of spots available. It's at the Haverhill Elks if anyone wants to play. And also, Mr. Solowski reminded me, we do have plans for another golf tournament. That will be Tuesday, August 13th, and it will be at Bradford Country Club this year. So just to keep you in the loop. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Cosmas. I don't mean to be a stickler on the rules, but I think we've had enough issues here. I'm trying to make sure that we don't have any of those issues moving forward for all of us.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is Committee Chairperson, Mr. Wood. June annual agenda items, going to be the policy updates, and then in everybody's packet or online, it's available as well. Google Classroom should be the superintendent's evaluation. Everybody should have that, if you could fill out the evaluation. Next item is going to be subcommittee reports, executive. There is no has not met, and we do not need a meeting. Next is going to be instructional personnel, Ms. True.
I was not in attendance at the last meeting. There are minutes to approve tonight, and I read through them, and if there's no objection to the members that were present, I would motion to approve it.
Motion by Ms. True to approve them. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Coppinger. Any discussion on the minutes of the April 10th Subcommittee Instructional Personnel? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Early?
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger?
Yes.
Ms. Delai?
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Mr. Irving?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Ms. Lowell?
Yes.
Ms. True?
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Slabowski?
Yes.
Passes. Plan Operations Chairman, Mr. Murphy.
Plant operations did meet earlier this evening, and there are minutes of the last meeting of April 10th in your packet, and I'd like to make a motion to approve those minutes.
Motion by Mr. Murphy, seconded by Mr. Fitzgerald. Any discussion? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Early?
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger?
Yes.
Ms. Delai?
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Mr. Irving?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Ms. Lowell?
Yes.
Ms. True?
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Slabowski?
Yes.
Passes. Salary and Negotiations Chairman, Mr. Early.
I believe we're gonna need a meeting soon.
Yes.
Just have to set it up.
So I have two dates, May 21st or June 5th.
What days are those on?
They're Wednesdays.
Doesn't matter to me.
May 21st works better for me. I will.
The what?
May 21st works better for me than June 5th. Did you say 5th?
All right, what time?
They have the updated committee.
Oh, it's a Tuesday.
I had someone else on.
Either way is good, or you?
At 3 o'clock?
3 o'clock here?
Yeah.
21st.
Yes, May 21st.
All right, not a problem.
3 o'clock.
You'll have the updated committee assignments, right?
I will not be able to attend the May meeting.
I'll miss you.
That's okay. Do you want to come up with another date so that more members can attend?
The other date I have is June 5th, which you said you can't make.
No, that's fine. No, I'm good. Yeah.
She knows.
Okay, all right.
May 21st at 3 o'clock.
At 3 PM?
Yes.
May
And you're sending
21st
a
at
notice
3
out to
p.m.
us?
Yes.
Okay. Next is the Policy Chairman, Mr. Irvin.
Mr. Chairman, the policy subcommittee met this evening. We went over 12 new policies from MASC. They'll be provided in your packet for next month, so the first reading. Tonight, we have the second and final reading for the policies going from, they were in your packet from BJ1 to JIC. I move that for second reading and approval.
Motion made by Mr. Irvin, seconded by Ms. Lowell. Any discussion on the policies? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Early?
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger?
Yes.
Ms. Delai?
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Mr. Irving?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Ms. Lowell?
Yes.
Ms. True?
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Slabowski?
Yes.
Passes.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to set up a meeting for policy in June prior to the school committee meeting, if possible.
I made one change, I think, tonight to the, just so you know. So, I moved around, so Mr. Irvin, you'll still be chairing. Ms. Coppinger, you'll be on the committee. Ms. O'Connor, Chip's gonna be there, and Ms. DeLay on the policy subcommittee. Mr. Irvin would like to set up before the next school committee, so June 12th at 6 o'clock you're hoping to do?
Yeah, I think we don't need much time, I don't believe. 6 should be fine.
Is that okay with everybody?
6 o'clock?
June 12th, 6 o'clock.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Irvin. Next item on the agenda is meeting dates. The regular school committee will be Wednesday, June 12th at 6:30 PM.
Question on meeting dates.
Sure.
Superintendent, the report budget, is that June 4th or June 5th?
She's gonna take that.
Let me check my calendar. Yeah. It's the 4th?
Missed one in 23 years.
Yes, June 4th.
June 4th.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Sorry about that.
And, Plan Ops meeting, do we need one next month?
I think we should talk about summer work,
Okay.
so we could do that one at 5:30. Does that work?
5:30?
Plan Ops, 5:30, June 12th, for everyone on Plan Ops. Okay. That it? Anything else, Ms. Martin?
Yeah, thank you.
Next item on the agenda is going to be new business, 2425, public comment procedure discussion. Ms. Lowell.
Yes, so I asked to have this be put on the agenda for discussion. I don't think this is something that I'm looking to have a decision, making a vote on or anything like that, but solely as a discussion for people to consider, really over the summer for consideration for next year. When for some people who are new here, I'm fairly new here myself, I was appointed back in October to fill a vacancy and was reappointed in March. When I was appointed originally in the fall, my predecessor made a comment to me about being disappointed that there was very limited public comment from any of our communities at our meetings, and feeling really unengaged from the community. And then we all know, through the winter that we had the building vote, the building proposal vote, and there certainly was some public comment, and it is what it is. And also at about that same time, just sitting around this table with other committee members, I also heard again from people that, we've never heard from these people. Where were they? I haven't been engaged with my community. And I just think I really heard that loud and clear, really from this committee more than from the public. But when I communicated with my appointing body, my school committee, it also made me aware that there was limited communication and engagement, and I've been committed to that. And I've taken some time to look at our public comment procedures in our communities, and I will just say, for Haverhill, they have in-person public comment and virtual public comment. In Amesbury and in my community, we have written public comment and in-person public comment and virtual written public comment. And I've looked at other school committees to keep it apples to apples. I haven't looked at your local governments, but in your school committees, in all the other communities, there's just in-person public comment. And I'm not naive to the fact that after 30-plus years in education, that public comment can be abrasive sometimes, but I also think it's very important. And we're a large regional district, and realistically, people in some of our further communities are not going to come here and give public comment in person because it might be impossible for them. And I think they deserve the opportunity to participate. And so I'm offering this out as a discussion at this point to consider in your communities. I know in my community, it's a given that public comment is welcomed in written form. And I support that. And all of the communities offer live stream of their meetings, which is great. But in this 21st century, I think we can be more inclusive given our large regional district and how we welcome the communities into this room and their comments. So I'm just opening it up, and something that, some of you may want to go back and speak to your committees and people in your communities to, get their feeling, and, maybe later in the summer or early fall, we can discuss it further, and if we decide to make changes, we can consider those changes at that time.
Any further discussion on this? Ms. Drew?
I'm really glad that you brought this up. I've been trying to connect more with my appointing body and also with the select board, and making an effort to let them know what's happening, sending them photos of the budget book to say, here's some highlights, here's some things you should know. And thankfully I was able to share really great things about our budget. I was really pleased with how it went this year, and let them know, that we're hearing them, we're hearing what their needs are. But I agree that going forward, maybe we could make more of an effort to reach out to our governing bodies in our towns, but also to just our residents in general. I know that some of you already do. I do know that, I know, but not everyone does. And I know I haven't really done as much as I think I could. So I'm trying to make an effort to do that. I'm glad you brought this up.
I also just want to say, it's not solely on the superintendent and the administration to do the communication with our communities. Superintendent Lynch and the administration have done a great job since last year at trying to get the word out and to advocate for Whittier Tech, but they can't do it alone. You know, they need our support both out in the community and then back here at the table as well. So I know public comment is just this very small piece, but I don't want to exist in work in a vacuum of information. And I would rather hear what people are thinking so that I can have a temperature read on what's going on in the community as we move forward. And if we are looking at another building project, I don't want to get to the end and then have people say, I didn't know, or I didn't have the opportunity, or whatever, to participate. So that's really why I'm generating this discussion.
Any further discussion? Just so, who?
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Early?
It's an interesting thing. I just got reappointed last Thursday night from the Haverhill School Board. I don't know how to say this, but I'm not a person for calling in. I had people there were 7 or 8 people that talked for me, all public. They came to the mic. Big difference versus coming on the radio, telephone, however you want to do it. I worked in Florida for a long time. I used to fly down Sunday night, fly home noontime Friday. Did it for many, many years. I used to come to these meetings, fly back to this, and go back down there. I don't believe in those things, but a lot of people want to talk on there, but we don't know who these people are that would call in. Sometimes it could help.
So for example,
All right, hold on.
in Haverhill.
Yeah.
We're gonna make
I'm sorry.
sure. So, Mr. Early, are you done with the floor?
Yes, leave it
Okay,
at that.
you're done. Ms. Lowell, you'd like to talk?
Sure,
Okay.
thank you.
Just if anyone wants to talk, just raise your hand, I'll
Yes, sorry.
recognize you.
So, I know in Haverhill, Haverhill does allow virtual participation through their Facebook live stream with advance, I think it said 6-hour notice, Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
With 6-hour notice to be able to verify who they are. And Haverhill is the only community I know of that does that. In Amesbury, it's only written public
What does
comment.
Haverhill do?
You have in-person and virtual participation through the Facebook live stream. So the person actually comes through the Facebook live stream and makes their public comment through video. So that's I think what you were referring to.
No, Haverhill doesn't do it through Facebook.
No, they don't.
They don't, oh,
They
it's
do
through
not.
HA.
So Haverhill does a Google Meet type setup
Yeah,
through it's nothing is done through Facebook.
Mr. Chairman.
so it's a virtual meeting,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Mr. Irvin?
Mr. Chairman, would it be appropriate to move this discussion to the policy subcommittee for review?
I think if the members want to send it to the policy subcommittee, we can do that. We did pass a new public comment policy that was in your packet tonight. But if the members wish to send it back for further changes,
I would move that.
okay.
Can I second that?
Yes. Mr. Irvin, seconded by Ms. Lowell. Any
And-
discussion on referring this back to
I have
policy?
discussion,
Ms.
yeah.
Lowell.
So I did review the public comment, policy, and it's very general, and, I believe it's more around the procedures of participation
That's
that
a
are.
state law.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so it really, it comes down to just how people engage through the public comment. I don't anticipate that it will really change, policy unless you actually write it in to
Well, I think
define
at this
that,
point,
but-
if that's what the body wishes, we can write it in. So I think it needs to be reviewed.
Yeah.
Any,
I couldn't agree with you more. I think that, and I'm in Ipswich and I'm brand spanking new, so, I don't talk a lot. But the biggest problem we have in Ipswich is they don't feel a connection with Whittier. And if you don't know it, then it's a problem. I mean, I've been working, we had the senior citizens up trying to get out into Ipswich what the great things that are happening at Whittier. Until they see that and hear that. I think, I've told them I'm gonna write letters to the editor about students, like the skills, make sure that makes the paper and things like that. But the more people have the opportunity to make comments, the more they can take ownership. And I think would be worth investigating on the policy side.
any further discussion on it? I think it's a worthwhile discussion. When I took office in Haverhill 20 years ago, there wasn't a public comment. I wrote the original one 20 years ago, much to the dismay of some people. But I think there's a balancing act. I mean, I will say over my 20 years there, there wasn't a lot of people that participated in it. It tended to be the same couple of people, even though you try to engage. So I think there's two different things. There's the public engaging with you, but then there's the school committee members engaging with their appointing boards and the members of their public. I think there are two distinct differences there that we should be cognizant of. That's all I have to say. Call the roll on that. Sending this to the policy subcommittee. Yes.
Mr. Early?
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger?
Yes.
Ms. Delai?
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Mr. Irving?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Ms. Lowell?
Yes.
Ms. True?
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Slabowski?
Yes.
Sent to policy subcommittee for a recommendation. Nothing else under new business, executive session, no executive session has been posted. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Chair, move to adjourn this evening, please. Second.
Motion by Mr. Irvin, seconded by
Just so the guy said,
Mr. Fitzgerald. All in favor of adjournment? Anybody opposed? We're adjourned.